Welcome back to Common Kansas Communications Network. I'm Bobby Buckets.
And I'm Steve.
We have breaking news from Congress that the 13th Amendment has been passed.
We're receiving information that it has something to do with slavery. We're going to go to the man in the Constitution corner, Alexander Amendment.
Thank you, Steve. I'm Alexander Amendment, and welcome to the Constitution Corner. We have another amendment being passed, and here's what we know so far. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery and involuntary servitude for blacks in the South. Section 1 reads as follows. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States, or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Section 2 reads as follows. Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. It was ratified on December 6, 1865. From my knowledge, this is what the United States was like before the amendment.
Get to work, boys!
And this is what the United States was like after the amendment.
Hey, you guys know you're free, by the way.
And this is what the United States is projected to look like.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No. Look at the top of his head.
Back to you, Stephen Buckets.
Thank you, Alexander Amendment.
You're welcome.
Now we go down on the scene with our man, Buddha Charlemagne, as he interviews a select few to comment on what just happened.
Thank you, Steve. I'm now going to interview President Lincoln himself and ask him about this new amendment. President Lincoln, how do you feel about this new amendment being passed?
Well, me and my colleagues are very pleased that this amendment has been passed through the help of James Mitchell and James Wilson and many others. We're happy that this amendment has been passed through our hard work and effort to make America a better country.
Why was this amendment so important in the past?
America is a free country. It's a country that's dedicated to people that want to be free and pursue their dreams. Everybody here should have the same opportunities to be free.
Very powerful words, thank you. See you at the play in a couple weeks. After talking to President Lincoln, I'm now looking to interview somebody else. There's one. Sir, what are you doing out here?
I'm trying to look for that damn slave of mine.
So I'm guessing you haven't heard about the 13th Amendment,
What 13th Amendment?
the one that prohibits all slavery in the United States.
You got to be kidding me.
No, sir, I'm sorry, but you don't have any slaves no more.
What are you talking about, no slaves?
Sir, there's no slaves. But how do you feel about this amendment being passed?
That's the worst goddamn thing in the world. There's that damn slave of mine. Let's get him, come on. I'm gonna shoot him, he's right there.
No, don't do that, I need to interview him.
You can't get me, I'm free!
Darn you, you damn slave.
Hello, sir. I'm guessing you've heard about the 13th Amendment.
Indeed.
How do you feel about it?
I'm very glad, but there's still many questions to be answered. Where do I get a job? How do I support my family? I still don't have any voting rights or the right to property. So there's still many things that the government needs to address after this amendment.
Well, all those are true. Today is not the day. Back to you, Stephen Buckets.
Thank you, Buddha Charlemagne. And now with the weather with Willis Weatherman.
Oh, thank you, Stephen Buckets. Here for the weather now. As you can see right here, we have the southern area here. We'll be seeing a large influx of racism and tensions between the whites and the blacks. It's very heavy in that area, but watch out, stay indoors. And you'll be seeing a heavy African migration to the north because of this. And we're seeing on the radar that we have a heavy Hurricane Jim Crow coming in right now. We believe it will be making everything separate but equal. I repeat, separate but equal. That's all for the weather today. Back to you, Stephen Buckets.
Thank you, Willis Weatherman.
You're welcome.
And now we have a clip of Congress debating over the 13th Amendment.
You need to ratify this amendment and free your slaves.
Never. My state will never allow you to take our slaves away.
You've already lost the war. We need to unite as a nation and come together under one banner, both blacks and whites.
But it's not just about the slaves. It's also states' rights. Your federal government can't just impose their way like that on the states. That's not what the framers would want.
This has to be done for the greater good. And your framers were hypocritical anyway. They said all men were free, yet still kept slaves themselves.
Ah, I'll never give in.
Well, if you sign now, you can use a loophole later to take away black people's rights anyway and segregate them to these equal facilities.
Huh. Sure.
All right, there we go.
All right.
And now we have a clip of a Court of Appeals case, Memphis versus Green, using the 13th Amendment.
I object
To what?
to the city of Memphis.
For what?
They're closing the streets separating the blacks and the whites. That's unlawful.
Well, isn't that street purely for traffic?
No, it's conveniently making it easier for whites to enter their homes at the expense of blacks.
Well, that does discriminate against blacks. And it is in conflict with the badge of slavery segment of the 13th Amendment. I rule in favor of Green against Memphis.
Yeah! Wow, this has been a historic day. What do you think about the amendment, Steve?
Well, I think it was a great foot forward for America as they became and continue to be a great nation and a free country. What do you think about this amendment, Buckets?
Well, Steve, the 13th Amendment has been key in freeing the slaves throughout the nation. However, their rights as Americans have yet to be secured. Congress needs to ensure the protection of the freed slaves' right to vote, right to property, and the pursuit of happiness.
Well, that's the news, and we're out of here.